Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And this whole video is going to be a giant infomercial. We're warning you.
That's right.
No, actually, we're going to do a video talking about our crowdfunder a little more in depth because I guess it's standard for YouTubers to do a live stream or a launch video or something, and we don't do anything right.
We always do things backwards here at Clownfish TV.
We always do. So we just kind of dropped the campaign a day ago and was like, oh, surprise, here it is. Well, it wasn't really a surprise. If you've been watching videos, we said we're getting it ready. We've actually been working on this comic for like the last year, and we haven't really said much about it.
Well, it's been in the works for more than the last year.
It has been. But we have several projects we're working on right now we don't talk about because my feeling on this is you do it first.
If you can.
If you can. We're in a position where we can.
Not everybody can.
Not everybody can, but we do it first and then we talk about it. And also, knowing some of the people that hate watch our content, we're like, we're just gonna go ahead and do it. And by the time we do what we're gonna do, it's too late to do anything about it.
What are you gonna do about it?
What are you gonna do about it? We're already making deals behind the scenes. What are you gonna do about it? Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So we're gonna talk about Crimson Rhen, and we're gonna talk about crowdfunding and independent comics and all of that jazz. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, and hopefully we'll give you some information you can use in this infomercial.
So now I want to be like, do you suffer from, then make up some kind of problem? Well, now here's the solution.
Yeah, we're the solution. We need to make up a problem.
Well, that's what Twitter does all the time.
We're a pain in your ass, and we're also the ointment for the pain in your ass. That's
Yes.
Solution selling. You create the problem, and then you sell the solution.
We're the solution to Twitter. Twitter created the problem. No.
Anyway, so yeah, Crimson Rhen. This is a story that if you've watched our videos, if you're familiar with the Shadowbinders webcomic, is a story that has been in the works for about 10 years now. In fact, it was shopped around to several publishers, and I believe this one or Shadowbinders was optioned by Disney at one point, and then they passed on it, and then...
I want to say it was Shadowbinders, actually.
Oh, maybe it was Shadowbinders. Well, it's still part of the Shadowbinders universe. It's technically the prequel.
This one, though, did almost get picked up by First Second.
Yeah.
We gave it to the editor. We didn't even have an agent. We just sent it to the editor ourselves. And they ended up going to meeting with it. And why actually it didn't get picked up was because at the time, the person in charge of First Second had some kind of steampunk comic at the same time.
Yeah,
and they didn't, I don't think they wanted them cannibalizing each other, even though his was adult and ours was for kids, well, middle grade. It was for everyone, but, you know, he didn't want, I don't think he wanted the competition. Let's just be honest. Yeah,
there's a lot of people, you know, so funny. Everybody's chasing after, you know, like Scholastic and First Second and stuff. And it's like, and Scholastic was interested too, kind of. And I actually got a personal response from the editor of Raina Telgemeier's books, and I thought it was kind of cool. But, you know, it's like pushing a camel through the eye of a needle because they might only have 6 spaces open for graphic novels that year, and like 2 or 3 of those spaces are probably taken by your Raina Telgemeiers. And
right, more than that. They might have like, they have like 10 slots open. 8 of them are already filled.
Right. So
and 2 of them are friends of the 8 that are already filled.
So it's interesting to see everybody chase mainstream publishing, which, you know, the mainstream publishing, you do have a better chance of selling a lot more comics than you would in the direct market. And those books are, you know, currently doing well.
But
those
you don't make as much money.
You don't. You make less per book, and you've got to sell a shit ton of books. And most people are never going to hit the numbers that Raina Telgemeier does. Now, you know, Raina Telgemeier probably never thought she was going to hit the numbers she hit, but I'm just saying, like, statistically, your chances of getting rich, even chasing graphic novels in that market, are slim.
Plus, the advances are ridiculously low.
Oh, they're very low. They started out they used to be like $25,000 to $50,000 advances, but that was usually a multi-book deal. So you're talking how many years of work for like $50,000, and then you have to give your agent a cut because they're not going to, you know, work a deal unless you have an agent because they want to protect themselves too. So, you know, then you have to save some money out to promote your book and all this other jazz.
Yeah, a lot of times that's not included unless it's in your contract.
And you don't get a penny more until you pay back.
That's
everything.
like when we say earn out, that's what we mean. Like a lot of these books, it's funny to me.
It's a loan.
A lot of these books are funny to me because you hear that so-and-so had a book deal, and then they didn't sell well, they didn't earn out, and then they got another book deal. And I'm like, meanwhile, there's a bunch of people who want a chance, who don't get a chance. And the people that keep getting chances over and over didn't earn out to begin with, which always to me seemed like, I mean, because they probably write off as a loss or something. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, anyway, the long and short of it is it's very hard to get into mainstream publishing.
So screw that.
So screw that. If you want to get your stuff out there, you do it yourself.
If they want us, they can come to us and they can pay us.
You can pay us. You can talk to our agent.
Talk to our agent.
Talk to our agent. Talk to our lawyer. Anyway, Crimson Rhen, what's it about? Well, it's steampunk fantasy. We call it the Goonies on an airship.
Kinda, yeah.
Kind of is. Again, Jose Garcia is doing the art. He did an amazing job. He's worked for DreamWorks, Netflix, Nick Cartoon Network. Look at this gorgeous, gorgeous art. Look at this. Now we've got like steampunk paddle wheelers and all kinds of stuff that kind of looks like Sweet Haven from the Popeye movie. That's okay.
That's what you're going for, though.
I love the Popeye movie.
That's kind of what you were going for.
Yeah, so it was interesting when I first started talking to Jose last year, because I originally was going to draw it years ago, and I don't have time now. And honestly, I would need a team like he's got to be able to come close to this. But I was like sending him pictures. I remember sending him pictures of kind of what I was thinking. It was like all over the place. Like here's, Mississippi in the 1800s and paddle wheelers, and here's some steamboats. Here's a New York City street from, here's this here's what Wren's jacket looks like. It's a Napoleonic jacket, and it was actually based on Laddie from The Lost Boys originally.
Which you ironically watched yesterday.
Which ironically watched it yesterday, yeah, with the kids, and they're like, God, that was painfully 80s. I'm like, yeah. I love that movie. I love that movie. Then he went on to direct Batman and Robin, a classic. Can't imagine. But anyway, so it does have a steampunk Mark Twain type flair to it. And this has a more animated feel because we're dealing with younger versions of the characters than in Shadowbinders. And this gives a lot of backstory. It actually introduces Alex, who is talked about in Shadowbinders, but we never actually see her.
Now you can see her.
Now you can see her. Now you know who we're talking about.
Well, this kind of reminds me of House of the Castle here with the background stuff. This was a long time ago. We decided what would work if we were trying to get a book deal because we were dumb and young and learned.
We're still dumb. We're just not as young.
We finally got in there, and then you're like, shit, this is not anything like they tell you it is.
No.
And we wanted to do like one that was like for everyone that we could say is middle grade, but adults read it. Because let's be honest, a lot of adults read books like Harry Potter and stuff too. It's they say it's like middle grade, but everybody loves it. So we were trying to do that. So I literally like sequestered myself to a table and a computer, and we had a couple ideas we were talking about, and I got this done in like a day. The initial story. I mean, we've tweaked it since then, but like the initial story.
The initial outline.
And when we were talking about putting the post-its up all over our walls in our bedroom, it was for this book. We had it for like 2 years, post-its everywhere.
Yeah, because how we broke it down, and I know you got mad at me. I remember you got mad at me for it, but I'm like, let's break it down like a movie and take all.
Actually, I wrote it in my head like a movie.
Yeah,
but when you were trying to visualize it for drawing.
Yeah, so what we did is we took her story and her basic dialogue, and I broke it down into a comic book script, and I added some dialogue. But I was like, I need to be able to see it because I can't see inside your head. We've been married a long time, but I still can't see inside your head.
No,
so I'm like,
cannot.
Let's. What am I thinking about right now?
Tacos?
Yeah, see? Yeah. See, she can see inside my head. I can't see inside her head. So we stuck everything on Post-it notes. And I guess my thought process was, being a web developer, it was like we can take it and like move scenes around or move dialogue around or whatever. But anyway, the Post-it notes were on the wall for like 2 years. That's...
You need to stop thinking that right now. This is not that kind of channel.
Oh no! You weren't supposed to know about that.
Sorry,
I just
look on your face like what? What did I do? Anyway, no.
I'm sorry. I see a monkey. I think Crisco. I just something from my childhood. I can't help it. I try to stop myself. Hose.
That's HOSE, not HOES.
Oh. Yeah. Monkey Hose and Crisco. That's our next comic. That's going to be a little more adult. Monkey Hose and Crisco.
Okay.
No, I just anyway.
Okay.
Let's go back. Let's go back. Oh God, let's go back. Let's go back to this. Yeah, Jose did an amazing job. It looks very animated, and it is the actual prequel to Shadowbinders. This is how the crew got started doing
How Crimson Rhen became Crimson Rhen.
Crimson Rhen became Crimson Rhen. Why he
Not
became
just Renford Aloysius Tizzle.
Yes, Renford Aloysius Tizzle. That is his full name. And it's a pretty fun story. It's self-contained. A lot of people were asking, do I need to have read Shadowbinders? The answer is no. You don't. This is definitely a PG-13 book. You don't have to have any prior knowledge of anything we've done. We are working on more Shadowbinders, but this story takes place before it. It doesn't, you can read this. It's part one of a two-part series. Buy those 2 books, read those 2 books. You don't have to read anything else. We want you to. Mm-hmm. We want you to buy more stuff. But, if you read that story, you didn't need to read anything else.
So what this is the backstory of how Crimson Rhen became Crimson Rhen and why he's friends with the people he's friends with and, why he has relationships he has with these people. It's also about a treasure hunt and it's in a different kind of way. It's how do you find a treasure that doesn't want to be found? Basically. That's basically what it is. But
that was us dating.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But if I didn't want you to find me?
Yeah.
It actually was the other way around.
Yeah. Changed my name. I moved out of state.
You almost missed all this.
A restraining order on you.
Because you kept disappearing. Anyway, none of that's true.
None of it's true.
But, so we wanted to take a different approach to a venture. It's like Goonies. It is very much like the idea of Goonies where there's a team of kids and they're trying to solve this mystery. They're trying to find this treasure. But this treasure is very elusive.
It is a very elusive treasure. Yeah. So we've got the True North, which if you've read Shadowbinders is in much better shape.
Yes.
So there's a reason that it looks the way it does, and there's a reason that it's going to look the way it does in Shadowbinders later. First, Rhen has to get rich. Rhen is not rich.
Right.
Rhen gets a little richer. He can afford to maintain his ship.
He's also a much younger person.
Right.
Yeah, and there's an explanation of why he has a chip on his shoulder he has, and there's a reason why he's, weird about certain things. You'll find a lot of that. If you read the Shadowbinders books, they'll make a lot of sense. But again, you don't have to read the Shadowbinders books for that. Now, one of the tiers on here, you can get the Shadowbinders books with this Crimson Rhen book. Yeah,
those books are actually done. They're in hand. They're hardcover. This book is also going to be hardcover. Full color.
So they all go together.
They're all going to go together. People ask why we do them at the size we do them at. That's actually standard trade graphic novel size because we're not limiting ourselves to crowdfunding. These books will be sold wherever we can sell them. In fact, if you're a comic shop or a bookseller, we do have ISBN numbers on all of our books. You can buy them wholesale. We offer them wholesale. We will verify that you're a comic shop or a brick and mortar bookseller because we have to, but we will give them to you for a discount. So you can make some money too, because we're thinking about the retailers.
And I will be packaging most of these. So
probably. Well, we're going to have to hire some.
I did the last time too. My mom helped and the kids helped, but it was mostly me.
We are currently moving Studio One to some other studio because we're going to have to make room for a lot more books. We actually have a bunch of Shadowbinders books. We printed more last time because of the campaign. We actually were trying to get rid of extra books we had.
And we had to buy more.
And then we had to do another print run. So now we're going to have to store all this stuff. And we've got Bubbly Steve. We're going to reoffer Bubbly Steve here pretty soon,
too. Not through here.
Not through this.
But Bubbly Steve's coming back as well.
Bubbly Steve's coming back. And eventually we're going to, try to come up with a system to publish our own stuff. Not just comics, but, anything we want to make and then sell it direct to consumer. And, it's a no frills campaign. We don't have a lot of unnecessary tiers. It's basically, do you want to buy a book? Do you want to buy this book and the other books?
So it won't probably go as high as other people's campaigns.
No, it's not.
Because we're not offering these large tiers or anything like that. We're just basically like, here's the book. People ask about autographs. The reason we can't do signed copies is because the artist is located in a different country. Yeah. And it would be very difficult to arrange that. So
it would be. I mean, that's, we're thinking, different things. People are like, why don't you do digital? And I'll tell you the truth. The reason we don't do digital, one is we've done digital before, and within a week or two of us sending out PDFs, they were, being torrented. I mean, you could find it for free. Very easy to, take a PDF and throw the scans out there. And, it's just not something we're interested in doing right now. I mean, there is some demand for digital comics, but, DRM-free PDFs, I'm very hesitant to offer. And really, at the end of the day, we want to make books. We want to make products. I do read a lot of comics digitally because I don't have the space for them. But at the end of the day, if I can buy a book and I can actually hold it in my hand, that's what I want. As far as the tiers go, we are trying to keep them comparable to what the book would be plus shipping. I mean, this book is it's over 130 pages. I think with the bonus material, it's going to be about 144 pages, full color, hardcover. It's going to retail for around $30, plus we have to ship it, pack it and ship it. So
we're not charging, we're not retailing it for 30 and then charging you like 60.
$70 or something. I've seen people do that. I mean,
we're not doing that.
You can do whatever you want to do we're trying to keep it basically to us, this campaign, same with Shadowbinders, it was about selling books. We want to take pre-orders for books. We, then we buy and warehouse the extra books and we find other channels to sell them through, but you get a chance to get some extra perks that you would not get, buying it through the store or whatever, and you're buying it directly from us, and we get a bigger cut of that, which helps us make more books.
I've been watching too much Extraordinary Attorney Woo, because this right here looks like a whale. You could circle it, because I can't use the mouse. That right there looks like a whale to me.
That's probably intentional, because the True North is actually based on a whale.
That is true.
It actually looks like a flying. If you look at the profile
you have a thing with flying whales. What is it with you and flying whales? Too much Hitchhiker's Guide.
Yeah, I think so. I do like flying whales, but yeah, sky whales. Did you ever see Sky Whales, cartoon?
No,
it's nightmare fuel.
No, thank you.
Okay, but a lot of the ships in Shadowbinders do have an organic look to them, and that's kind of
that's very different than these paddle wheel type ships.
Yeah, well, this is a different part of the country too, because we were dealing with Estelona and Tirana, and they're different. It's complicated. It's complicated. They're different parts of the country. The ships look different, but yeah, Jose did get the ornate, look down, which I thought was really cool, and I love because I gave him a description of what the North looked like, and I said, well, it's run down now, but it also looks like an Osprey helicopter. It doesn't have the nacelles on it the regular ship, and he got it. He got it first try. He was like, well, like this? I'm like, yeah, that works. That's what we're going with. So anyway, is there anything else we can talk about this? I don't know.
Just if you are interested, please, back the campaign. If you don't want to back the campaign, but you want to help, you can share.
You can share. We've got a couple tiers in there if you just want to tip us. That's cool. We like money. That's Clownfish Minus.
Fish Minus. We'll take your money.
We'll take your money out of your wallet and not give you anything in return. That's fine.
I thought you would give you a gratitude.
We'll give you gratitude. Yeah. So the book is mostly done. I just want to stress that because people are like, well, how do we know it's going to get done? It's mostly done.
It just pretty much needs lettered at this point, and the letter is ready to go. It's just that they're finishing up another project right now, and they'll be freed up here any time now.
Yeah, and the reason I put the shipping date as March of
there's a reason.
Year, there's a reason for that. So
you might get it way before that.
Hopefully. The reason is, during the pandemic, during these unprecedented times, there have been unforeseen shipping and production delays, and I'm trying to allow for that, so people aren't like, hey, my book's 2 months late. No,
a lot of it's because the printers got backed up because a lot of the places overseas in China they were going to weren't able to deliver, and then the ones that one we were using that we've been using that's in the United States is backlogged. So it's more about when they can get to it, and then they do other projects like yearbooks and things. So it's more about getting it in there and getting it time. That should be hopefully the latest it'll be. It's always possible it'll come before that.
Yeah. So anyway, that is Crimson Rhen. Hopefully you guys like it. We've got more projects in the works. We'll talk about as we get closer to launching them. We're just trying to come up with a pipeline for producing and distributing Clownfish Studios stuff, comics and plushies and
we want to make these. We talk about making new things, and people should go out there and make things. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to actually, everybody's like, oh, you just complain. And well, one, that's not true. We do say we like things. But two, we're trying to find solutions. We're not just trying to complain. We're saying this stuff isn't working. Right, so here's some solutions.
Yeah, this is a brand new IP. It's owned and controlled by us. I have no intention of us selling Shadowbinders this world to a corporation because we know what happens. So we're in complete control of it, for better or worse. Anyway, we're going to wrap this one up.
Yes.
Thank you so much for the support, guys. Again, I'll put a link in the description, in the comments, and hopefully you'll come along for the ride.
Yep.
See ya.
Bye.